am Dominus Cinephile.
Welcome to my movie and TV series reviews, where I will provide honest opinions of the latest releases. If the movie or TV series is a hit or a miss, be sure to know I will inform you. But if the movie or series is trash, be also sure to know that I will trash the hell out of the movie. I am Dominus Cinephile.
And the movie on the review table today is the Hollywood film Duplicity. Duplicity is a 2025 Hollywood drama written and directed by Tyler Perry, featuring an ensemble cast that includes Meagan, Tandy, Kat Graham, Tyler Lepley, RonReaco Lee, Joshua Ardayaya, Angela Halili, Jimi Stanton, Nick Barrotta, and Kyria Schroeder. The film premiered on Amazon Prime Video on March 30th, 2025. The story follows Marley, a high-powered lawyer in a relationship with Tony, an ex-cop turned private investigator. Marley shares a close friendship with Fairla, a respected newscaster married to Rodney. However, Rodney and Fairla's marriage is crumbling under the weight of unresolved tensions and deep-seated resentment. One fateful afternoon, Rodney finds himself walking through an affluent neighborhood in a crime-ridden city. His mere presence triggers a 911 call, and soon police officers Kevin and Caleb arrive on the scene. Caleb, a white rookie officer struggling to navigate his job, misreads the situation. The moment Rodney reaches for his cell phone, Caleb panics and shoots him dead. News of Rodney's killing sends Fairla into shock and despair. Determined to seek justice, Marley steps up to represent her friend, vowing to hold the city accountable for Rodney's murder. Meanwhile, Officer Kevin shifts the blame onto his partner Caleb, igniting protests and riots across the city. What seems like an open and shut case, another unarmed black man gunned down by a white cop, soon takes a sinister turn. As Marley digs deeper, she uncovers a web of deception that goes beyond police brutality. Desperate for answers, she turns to Tony for help. But the truth she seeks is far more dangerous than she ever imagined. What started as a fight for justice quickly spirals into a battle for her own survival against enemies lurking closer than she ever realized. And here we go again, another Tyler Perry movie stuffed with his tired, irritating stereotypes about black men. At this point, it's exhausting watching him recycle the same lazy, one-dimensional portrayals in every single film. With Duplicity, Perry is back to his usual antics, delivering yet another frustrating mess. A wannabe detective thriller mixed with courtroom drama, minus the courtroom. After the disaster that was the 6888, he somehow manages to sink even lower. Instead of crafting a compelling narrative, Duplicity falls into the same trap as many of his previous films, a half-baked, low-budget mystery that awkwardly fuses police brutality, toxic relationships, and melodramatic conflicts between needlessly combative characters. To top it all off, Perry injects his signature brand of absurdity, seemingly in a desperate attempt to keep viewers engaged. But here's the bitter truth. Nobody's interested in yet another agonizing, nonsensical train wreck. I genuinely don't even know where to begin in trying to digest this train wreck of a movie from Tyler Perry. First off, it's painfully obvious that the script was slapped together in less than 24 hours. Unsurprising, considering Perry's notorious habit of rushing out movies in under a week. From the very first scene, there's absolutely nothing that gives you even the faintest hope that this film will be any different from his usual mess of lazy storytelling. The movie opens with a group of people working out in a gym, a scene so flat, lifeless, and pointless that it might as well not exist. The color grading is just as dead, leaving everything looking as dull and lifeless as a cadaver. From the very start, you can tell something is seriously off. Fast forward to the next scene, where we meet three of the main characters, Marley, Tony, and Rodney, about to have breakfast. Rodney's wife walks in, takes a seat beside him, and then out of nowhere, Marley tells Rodney to kiss his wife. What kind of absurd dialogue is that? Whether or not a couple is having issues, you don't just order grown adults to display affection like they're actors in some forced romantic skit. It's awkward, unnatural, and just another example of how Perry's writing lacks depth, realism, or even basic logic. Beyond that scene, the dialogue in this movie is painfully awkward and mind-numbing, packed with lines that sound nothing like how real people talk. And as if the bad writing wasn't enough, the way the actors deliver these lines makes it even worse. Every single performance is overacted to the point of absurdity. The entire movie feels forced, unnatural, and frankly, embarrassing to watch. There's no depth, no nuance, just exaggerated emotions thrown at the screen with zero authenticity. Scenes drag on with lifeless energy, while the actors desperately overcompensate, turning what should be a serious drama into something that feels more like a low-budget TikTok skit. It's melodrama at its absolute worst, drenched in performances so painfully overblown. This isn't filmmaking, it's a masterclass in how not to make a movie. It's painfully obvious that Tyler Perry wants this movie to be a powerful political statement, but in his attempt to tackle a serious issue, he ends up trivializing it instead. The film takes the real and devastating problem of police shootings of unarmed black men and cheapens it with shallow plot twists, offering no depth, no insight, and worst of all, no clear message. The storytelling is all over the place, and Perry seems clueless about what his central theme is supposed to be. The movie is stuffed with heavy-handed, in-your-face messaging that could have been impactful if the plot actually had a destination. Instead, the constant twists and turns leave it completely toothless. At best, it's a confused mess, and at worst, it's utterly meaningless. And then there's the acting, because what's a movie without actors? But there's no such thing as a good movie with bad actors. And with Perry at the helm, we're once again subjected to performances as robotic and lifeless as a rusted-out machine. He seems to cast actors based on their looks, rather than their ability to actually bring a character to life. Take Fairla, for example. Her character is supposed to be consumed by grief, yet her performance is so hollow and disconnected that she might as well be reading lines off a teleprompter. Not that the weak script does her any favors. Beyond their pretty faces, these actors fail to bring any authenticity to their roles. Nobody in this movie reacts like a real person would. No one questions the glaringly suspicious events happening right in front of them. Nobody considers alternate viewpoints. And no one asks the most obvious questions in any given situation. The entire movie is one long drawn-out exercise in wooden, unnatural, and downright frustrating performances. Let's break down the performances, starting with Meagan Tandy as Fairla. Her acting is as flat and lifeless as a cardboard cutout. Even with the awful script working against her, she still manages to make things worse with a performance that feels forced, unnatural, and completely devoid of emotion. The final scene where she delivers her one-liner is the ultimate proof. There's not a shred of believability in her delivery. Instead of drawing the audience into her grief and turmoil, she unintentionally telegraphs so much about her character that it becomes glaringly obvious Fairla wasn't as innocent in her husband's death as we were led to believe. Like the rest of the cast, her scenes are an absolute chore to sit through, awkward, unconvincing, and painfully dull. Kat Graham plays Marley, and to say her performance was disappointing would be an understatement. Having seen her deliver solid performances in TV series like The Vampire Diaries, I expected much more from her. But in this Tyler Perry disaster, she is painfully awful. Stiff, uninspired, and downright difficult to watch. Her on-screen chemistry with Fairla feels forced and artificial, making their supposed friendship completely unconvincing. But the biggest issue isn't just her acting, it's how Tyler Perry writes characters like hers. Once again, we get a supposedly brilliant lawyer who somehow lacks the intelligence, wit, and sharpness that should come with the role. Instead, Marley, like so many of Perry's female leads, is reduced to being just another pretty face with zero depth. This isn't the first time Perry has managed to strip good actors of their talent. Meagan Good in Divorce in the Black and Kelly Rowland in Mea Culpa both delivered career-worst performances under his direction. Unfortunately, Kat Graham suffers the same fate, dragged down by weak writing and even weaker execution. RonReaco Lee plays Officer Kevin, and like the rest of the cast, his performance is frustratingly weak, completely lacking the depth, presence, or charisma needed to embody the character. His acting is painfully predictable, leaving no room for intrigue or complexity. From the moment he appears on screen, it's blatantly obvious he's one of the villains in this poorly executed three-antagonist plot. There's no subtlety, no nuance, just a one-note performance that practically screams, "Look at me, I'm the bad guy." From the scene where Rodney is killed to everything that follows, it's clear Kevin is involved, making any attempt at mystery in the story feel pointless. His performance is so uninspired that watching him go through the motions becomes exhausting. There's nothing compelling or memorable about his character, and his presence on screen is just another example of the film's lackluster execution. Honestly, every actor in this movie was as bad can get. It's as if Tyler Perry walked through the streets of Atlanta, randomly picked people with zero acting ability, and threw them straight into this film. Every interaction, every line of dialogue was stiff, robotic, and completely devoid of chemistry. And if the acting wasn't bad enough, the plot itself was an absolute disaster. Messy, predictable, and drowning in over-the-top melodrama of the worst kind. Cringeworthy moments were scattered throughout, making you want to turn off your TV or laptop in pure frustration. I kept hoping it would get better, that maybe, just maybe, something would redeem this chaotic mess. But the more I watched, the more infuriating it became. And then came the ending. Rarely have I seen a climax so unintentionally laughable. Characters awkwardly spouted their schemes and motivations out loud for no reason, while each new twist piled on more nonsense than the last. It was as if no one, not a single person involved in this film, had any idea how to bring it to a logical close. Instead, they chose to end it in the most absurd, ridiculous way possible. In summary, Duplicity is yet another weak, half-baked attempt by Tyler Perry to make a film with political and racial undertones. But as expected, he Tyler Perried his way into yet another cinematic disaster, one packed with terrible actors who couldn't act to save their lives, an infuriatingly weak script, and dialogue so nonsensical they insult basic intelligence. This movie doesn't break any new ground. It simply reinforces everything wrong with Perry's filmmaking. Duplicity is a failure on nearly every level. The plot is convoluted and implausible, filled with characters who make illogical decisions at every turn. The direction is lazy, the dialogue is clunky, and to make matters worse, Perry shamelessly recycles scenes from his previous films, like the boat climax from Acrimony. And can someone please explain how Marley miraculously freed herself underwater while being chained? The same absurdity we saw in Acrimony is replicated here. It's beyond ridiculous. It's flat-out stupidity. As I said in my review of Mea Culpa, Tyler Perry isn't a great filmmaker. He's just a rich guy with the means to produce bad movies. His films are an insult to any viewer with common sense. And if you still believe he's a brilliant director, you might need to have your head examined. And now, for my rating. Duplicity scores a disappointing 1 out of 10. I'm definitely trashing this. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and share this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell icon for notifications. Also, be sure to follow me on TikTok, WhatsApp channel, and Instagram at Domino's Cinephile for more movie and TV series reviews. Domino's Cinephile signing out.